Well, we all know how I hate intros, so this is how we're going to start this one. These used to be around my air conditioner to make it cuter looking, but now they're going to be wind blocks for the pigs. This is just scrap plywood we have from building all the pig houses that we built recently. It don't have to be pretty, it just has to be functional. Most of the pig houses have wind blocks on the north side, but the wind's been mixing around real confusing like. So a couple of T-posts and some scraps and we got a wind block. Now watch my cute piggies. Aren't they so cute? Don't you want to see this all the time? You can if you click subscribe. Go ahead and like this video too. This is Lily. She is large and in charge. I'm just showing you here that she is filling up with milk. She's a little swollen back there. I was just praying that she had these babies before the freeze. Before the freeze, it had rained and it was still muddy. So we took scrap pieces of foam from our walk-in refrigerator build and we put them at the bottom of her house. And then we put straw on top of it. We put T-posts around it so she couldn't move it around because Ginny was freaking doing that. And then we put the wind block in place. This is what it looks like. If you have never seen a piglet up close, I highly suggest doing it. They're super cute. They're also super small. So we had to build another fence within her fence to keep the piglets in. Now, keep this in mind. Look how muddy that is, okay? That'll be important when the freeze comes. I think you know what I mean. Very important inspection here. We do not cut corners. Like I was saying, fence within a fence. I think these are 3x3 squares that we built the pig pens with. It's sheep and goat wire. And then we put hog panels in the inside. So the bottom of them are like 1x4 or something, and it gets a little bigger at the top. We ended up keeping that front panel off until a few days after she had her babies. Oh crap, I just ruined the surprise. I'm going to show you something we just figured out. If you go down here and you go to the wind and you click on that, it shows you which direction the wind is blowing at certain times during the day. That was particularly helpful with trying to block the wind for the turkeys. It changed all the time. I've had to change these freaking tarps so many times it's not even funny. And most of the time it was windy when I did it. So a lot of times I couldn't record because it would have knocked my phone over. Now you can't forget about the goats. You couldn't if you wanted to because they're screaming at you most of the time. But we did give them a little provisions. They got hay every day, and we decided to give them heat lamps. At least they'd have a warm spot because 11 degrees is really cold. They can make it through. They made it through just fine. Another spoiler alert. The clamps are not the only thing keeping these heat lamps up. We had ropes and we tied back all the cords and everything because goats love to chew. Here we are at the sheep. Now I'm about to blow your mind. So get ready. They're wearing wool coats. Yeah, it's like it grows directly on them. They're pretty warm. 𝐥𝐤𝐤 here has a long fleece because he has not been shorn yet. And Katniss has a little bit shorter of one, but that doesn't mean she's not warm. Because she is. They freaking love the cold. Nonetheless, they also have a shelter with a roof and 3.5 walls, so they're pretty set. If you go back to my videos to January of 2023, you'll see us building this chicken coop, and it is insulated. But we gave them a heat lamp just in case. For the cows in the cold, luckily they're over here at the mesquite where they have lots of juniper trees that still have leaves on them. They can use those as a windbreak. We also fed them a little bit more often, and then made sure they had access to hay all the time. If I remember right, this tractor's about 35 years old. It doesn't always like to start in the cold. So we took a hay bale out, we came back, and we preloaded the next one onto the trailer. That way we could take it when it was real cold. We weren't taking any chances with water either. Just in case the lines froze, we filled up these water jugs and put them in my shop. I turned the heater on to the lowest setting, which I think was 64 for some of my tropical plants, and we kept them in there. Remember that mud I showed you earlier? Oh, it gets worse. And wouldn't you know, Lily had her babies the day it started snowing. She had 9 little cuties. Unfortunately, 3 of them didn't make it. They were either stillborn, she accidentally laid on them, or she could have been so tired from the previous 6 that she didn't lick them off in time, and they either froze or didn't make it out of the sack. Every time I peeked in to check on these babies, it was significantly warmer in there. That foam and all the straw, and then of course warm milk and mama's body heat kept those babies warm. Even though their dad, Hagrid, had an icicle mustache. We did indeedy have running water the whole time, but just out of the tap. We didn't want to run water all the way through the water hoses down to the pigs, so these jugs came in handy. Also, some of the pigs had this running water down from the stock tank, but that ended up freezing later. Like this. This is the next day. It was like an ice rink. The boars did not want to walk over this. Neville begrudgingly did. You did it. Well, I'm a sucker. And the turkeys are coming in the barn with me. Not with me, I set them up a pen, but they're actually enjoying being out. So I'll get them in the barn and show you what it looks like. Here we go. Most spoiledest turkeys in the world. This particular night, I ended up staying in the trailer at the farm. I was able to give all the animals water like 2 or 3 times. And also, I was a little worried about the road conditions the next day, so I was already there. These turkeys are also standing on some of that extra foam to keep their feetsies a little warmer. The cows, of course, were given extra feed and hay whenever they needed it. That food helps their rumen work and warms them up in the end. Apparently, we provided pretty well for the wild ducks, too. A bunch of them came in and stayed. They were entertaining to watch in the evening time when the sun finally came out. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe. I upload most Sundays and you can keep watching us grow our farm. Have a good one.